A look at what's making the headlines across the continent this morning. We begin with Somalia in Mogadishu, which was rocked by a new tragedy yesterday. The Al-Shabaab extremist group claimed the deadly attack that occurred as the newly elected president took office, as can be read on Africa Review. The attack left 2 children dead. Several explosions were heard near the presidential palace during the handover ceremony of Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed. The newly elected leader, who has already been sworn in, has raised the issue of insecurity and the reign of terror that's been plaguing the country these past few years. The president, better known by his nickname Farmajo, has called on his countrymen to be patient, and I quote, "We cannot accomplish things in a few months, but what we need is to forgive each other and stand up towards improving security and the economy of the country. This is a government for the people." At least one mortar landed on a house behind the presidential palace. Africa Review concludes by saying the attack suggests the beginning of a difficult mandate for the new head of state.
The Africa Review.
To Niger now, where Niamey.com is looking at the union of several West African states, including Niger and Central African states, in the fight against trafficking of wild flora and fauna in Lomé. Since Monday, Lomé has been hosting an important meeting where judges of these countries are thinking on ways to implement proceedings against perpetrators of wild flora and fauna-related offenses. The workshop in Lomé that's taking place after that of Accra in June 2016 is expected to deepen the understanding of magistrates and judges from these countries on the best practices of using detection and repression tools. To this effect, the Togolese Minister of Environment said that for 5 days, the participants will tackle a conducive framework that favor uniform sanctions and that would be more heavy against the traffickers, and the enforcement must increase to put an end to the scourge.
S'amplifier pour mettre un terme à ce fléau, c'est ce qu'a déclaré le ministre togolais de l'Environnement.
We conclude today's press review with an editorial published in OK Africa. The Pan-African magazine is reacting to the controversy in South Africa of DJ Duka's. It's about statements she recently made, and I quote, "I get rejected for not being black enough and being too black to be white." Words that could make sense if the personality in question was from a mixed race, but it's not the case, according to OK Africa. DJ Duke is just white, and though she grew up in the Kasi or township areas of residence designated to black people during apartheid, her protest attitude has a name: cultural appropriation. OK Africa further explains that one does not become black, one is born black, and there's not much one can do to change that. It is a state of fact full of culture, heritage, and history of oppression. The mere fact that the DJ sees it differently is due to the fact that she has the privilege of being white. Many black South Africans have taken to Twitter to express their incomprehension. Angry tweets which are also ironical. Some have even gone ahead to compare her with Rachel Dolezal. You probably remember this American professor who 2 years ago swore by all saints she is black. The story that caused a general outcry to the African-American community.
DJ à l'américaine Rachel Dolezal, vous vous souvenez sans doute de cette professeure américaine qui, il y a 2 ans de cela, jugée par tous les saints être de race noire, une histoire qui avait provoqué un lever de bouclier dans la communauté afro-américaine.